simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills. That actually increases the money supply.
Financial Turmoil Explained.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here. Better not move the cam too much. Today is the last day of August 2022. It's the 31st. And what we're looking at here is a lot of things are going on. Let's take a look at the markets real quick. And the S&P 500 is up 10.77. It's up 0.27%. The Dow Jones is up 30 points, 31,821. NASDAQ is up 56 points at 11,933. The Russell is down marginally, just a little fraction, 3.60 points, down 1851.99. Crude oil is down $1.43. Gold is down $5.30. Silver is down just 1.87%, down 34 cents today at 17.94. The euro is just slightly over $1, so it's almost par with the US dollar. 10-year bond is at 3.1%. We got to watch out for that 10-year bond if it moves too much. Bitcoin is up $416 at 20,226. So Bitcoin's one of the big movers up today. It's caught a bid today. Crypto, the crypto index, the CMC Crypto 200 is down 1.07% at 479. The FTSE is at 7302. It's down 58 points. The Nikkei is down 104 points at 28,091. And that's basically all your markets today. Now, I'll tell you guys what, I didn't go over the MOVE index today, and I didn't look at the DIX dollar index, I don't think, today. But one of the things I wanted to point out today that's a really big story to me, and it's very important. Just a second, let me get my camera again here. Very important to me is what the Pope's doing right now. That's right. The church, Catholic Church and the Pope and the Vatican and all that. They're moving their money out of the regular banking system, and they're getting it in their own care really fast. Billions are moving as fast as they can out of the banking system. So basically, the church is doing their own little bank run here. What? They're nervous about something. Or they wouldn't, well, I mean, that's just blatantly obvious. They're nervous about something, or they wouldn't be. And I think they're making a fantastic move, getting out of the banks. But they used to be doing it too. Excuse me. If they're moving their money out of the banking system, you can bet something's going on. I would just care to bet. I don't know this for sure. But they might know things that you don't know. Like maybe there's going to be some sort of a bank holiday, or gosh only knows, But that's a big story as far as I'm concerned. And, I'll tell you guys what. There's a couple directions this whole thing could move in right now. One of the directions is, well, they're both bad. But one of the directions would involve a credit freeze to the system. Which is basically, it's all about leverage. You see, back in 1914, they set us on a path of a monetary system, a financial system that is a Ponzi scheme, and all Ponzi schemes come to an end. I first learned about Ponzi schemes when I was just a little kid, and I learned how they end, and generally the person that perpetrates the Ponzi scheme makes off with all kinds of money. Generally, they run away from town or whatever. And a lot of it works on a pyramid scheme. These charlatans, they used to come into town in the olden days, when people didn't know what Ponzi schemes were, and they'd say, okay, they'd start some sort of a scheme. Maybe it was, it could be with anything at all. But it's the sort of thing where you always have to find new investors that'll come in and bring their money into the table. And in the end, when you get more new ones coming in than there is money going out, then the charlatans split town with the bag full of money. And everybody's like, where did they go? They owe us money. We got to keep this Ponzi scheme going so we can all be enriched by it. Ponzi schemes actually work very well, but this is a giant, enormous Ponzi scheme. And in the end, what happens is they always collapse. So the fiat money is actually a giant, enormous Ponzi scheme. It has to keep growing larger and larger and find new investments. But what happened was this Ponzi scheme was launched on the world in 1914, roughly. That's when it started. And it slowly gained speed, but it relies upon always having growth in the world, the entire world, grow. It relies upon things to continue to expand and grow bigger and bigger. And so more and more money can be borrowed based on this growth. Well, we continued to grow until 2008, and we had a major contraction. What you call a major recessionary event. A very deep, very powerful recessionary event. And the monetary system then continued to grow because they borrowed more and more based on nothing. And that's called leverage. And now, since 2008 until now, what they've done is they've built up tremendous leverage within the system. Leverage basically is what's called bubbles form from leverage. And now the whole thing's ready to go pop, and the Fed, in all their omnipotent wisdom, have decided that they're going to pop the bubbles. And what they call pain to the markets. They said it's acceptable now to have pain to the markets. I don't think they realize how much pain is coming, essentially. So the pain's going to begin. And basically, this is sad, guys, because it's going to affect every one of us. But there's two scenarios that could happen here. They could inflict the pain deeply on all of us by holding the line, holding the course, and when things start to get bad, continuing to push with this thing. They'll get a credit freeze if they do that. And the whole thing about banking holiday, and this is possibly what the Vatican's scared of happening. Maybe why they're pulling their money from the system right now. Maybe they're scared of a credit freeze. They have people that work for them, like economists and stuff, and they know. They're not. Anyway, I was going to say they're not stupid. They're smart. They know what's going on, and so they might be very nervous about what's going on right now in the system. In fact, they know a lot more than we know. I would take this extremely seriously if I was you in your own personal finances. And so that's one of the scenarios that can happen, is a credit freeze. Another scenario is that the Fed starts to back off pretty soon before we get a credit freeze. And they launch us into more stagflation that lasts for a very long time, along with very limited growth because of what they've done. The credit freeze scenario is actually the better of the two for a little bit of a reprieve from all of this when they are forced to come back in and print a lot of money again. Which would hurl us in the opposite direction toward inflation rather than stagflation. But either way, we're in for a lot of pain in the next couple years, It's all starting to roll over. The system is actually starting to break apart now. Now, this is only going to be a short show today, And I just wanted to get on the air because I'm having a little bit of issues with my cameras again. That's why I'm on this camera. This camera's got an excellent picture. The picture quality that's on it is excellent. But I can't find software that will work compatible with my computer with this camera. So it's very frustrating. This is a very expensive camera. It cost me quite a bit of money. I bought it a while back, in hopes it will work good, but the software is antiquated for it to blend it in with the computer. Anyway, listen, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, and we'll catch you guys in the very next show. And don't forget, I do have a Patreon channel. It's only $1 a month, and it helps support my channel. I've been putting the link in the description on the last couple shows. I think I'll probably put the link to that again today in the description. On that Patreon channel, I generally produce a couple podcasts every, at least probably twice a month or whatever, and some other shows about the paranormal subject matter, And maybe you think you've heard it all when it comes to paranormal stuff, but I've researched paranormal as one of my subjects of interest that I have, just one of many topics that I'm interested in. Like sports, I like golf, I'm interested in that. And I'm interested in different subject matter surrounds the paranormal, so I talk about it. I used to talk about it on Delta Report more, but now I talk about it on my Patreon channel, and I mix it in with my podcasts. Well, the podcasts are pretty much up-to-date news stories, what's going on in the world today. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. And you guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.